How long does a typical inspection take?
So it goes by square footage and age of the home in general, and also the experience of the home inspector. I like to write the home inspection report on site so that way I don't miss anything. Everything's immediately put into the report software so that nothing's ever forgotten or missed. And then you also get the report within an hour of leaving the property.
Which we love, because then we can, I can get my clients back on the phone and go, hey, here we can look at it a different way. It's now written, and instead of being in the middle of it, is there anything that doesn't make sense to you or really scares you kind of thing?
Exactly. So for me, it does take a little bit longer. I would say maybe half hour extra on site for me taking the time to write it out. But the benefits outweigh that extra half an hour for most people. So there are home inspectors that I know that'll run through a house in an hour or two, like a large single family home, because they'll take all the pictures and then when they get home, they just write the home inspection report later. So it really depends on the experience. I've gotten a couple of notes about some of the other inspectors on my team that really like to take their time. And they were like, the inspection took 6 hours for a 3,000 square foot house. And I think there was a bit of chatting there for sure. But yeah, so it can take, for a single condo, I did one yesterday in about an hour and 15 minutes for a 1-bed, 1-bath condo from the 1960s. Not too bad. But if it's a large home, I think the longest I ever was on site was I tag teamed a 20,000 square foot mansion off of River Road in Maryland. It had its own big movie theater and bowling alley. I mean, it was a crazy house with 2 other inspectors. So the 3 of us were able to tag team that house in about 9 hours.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, there were a lot of things wrong with it too. So.
I mean, that comes to say, you have movie theaters, you have bowling alleys. What do you guys, where is your level of, hey, I don't expect that. That's not something I'm ready for. Where do you guys draw the line, and what systems do you look at in the house?
So in general, home inspectors are trained on the main systems of a house. So we look at structure, we look at fuel systems, if there's an oil tank or if there's a gas meter or things like that. We look at major systems, so like the HVAC, the electrical, the plumbing, things like that. Specialty items are anything like elevators. There are these, in some of these grandiose houses on River Road, you get these chandeliers that you push a button and it comes down. So any kind of pulley systems, anything that's a specialty item, we wouldn't be testing.
Okay.
So I think that the biggest thing that most people are surprised that we don't test would be...
I see AV, audio-visual.
Audio-visual speakers is one. People are super surprised that we don't do speakers. And then there are certain different small appliances that, if it's a small little refrigerator, it may or may not stay. It may not convey with the property. I'll test it anyway. I'll add it to the report because what's the harm in just testing? If I open a refrigerator and get the temperature, but certain other things like spas, hot tubs, those are certainly things that we would not be testing. They're specialty items.
That makes sense. I would say anyone that is selling their house and has a jetted tub, those are probably the most interesting ones to inspect sometimes. And I don't think people understand it because they don't use them very often. But I've been to some where we turn on the jets and then you have a bunch of stuff coming at you.
It's gross.
So it's something, if you have one, you should do prior to the inspection to make sure everyone is clean and ready to go for it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. We get dirty. Like that.